Welcome to Wake in Focus with the Old Gold and Black. My name is Benjamin Pappas, and today I am interviewing a remarkable student whose artistic talents have been drawing heads around the nation. He's a studio art and economics double major and a successful entrepreneur with a business in which he paints portraits of some of the country's most successful athletes. Today, I'm sitting down with him to talk about all of that and to see what his plans are for taking this business into the future. So, let's get into focus with Kyan Patel. Alright, so what are we painting today?
Alright, so we got two eyes that I think we're going to paint. Very basic kind of thing, easy, fast. So
it's like a starter thing for...
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty much starter. Like, you don't got to go into detail, but just like something pretty easy to start off painting with.
Okay, nice. What do we start with?
So usually I start, like, a lot of people would be like, start with light colors, dark colors. I just kind of just start wherever. So like I was going to start with the pupil of the eye. So I was just going to take something like this black and kind of just paint in that part.
Use the smaller one?
Yeah, smaller or bigger. It doesn't really matter.
How did you get started with all of this?
Well, I grew up doing art. My mom went to art school in Pratt. She went to art school in Pratt in New York City.
Oh, okay.
So art was kind of always in my blood in that way. Never really took classes. Kind of just always did it growing up. And I always did it on the side. I played a lot of sports in high school and middle school. Played soccer all the time, golf, tennis. So I never really saw art as a kind of a big part of my life. I was kind of more naturally talented and didn't really see any purpose with it. But then around 11th grade, one of my close friends was one of the top receivers in the country. And he was like, hey, for my commitment day, would you want to do a painting of me basically in my new uniform? And so I created this painting for him. It was my first time doing something like that. And on his commitment day on like national television and stuff like that, he put the hat on, committed to UNC, and then unveiled this painting with this jersey that I painted, obviously, and showing everyone he's going to UNC, etc. And from there, it kind of got a lot of national news, just being he was such a big receiver. And I kind of was able to get in contact with a bunch of UNC players, and I started realizing that there's kind of a market for this. Nobody really is. A lot of people do paintings, a lot of people do photos for sports, but nobody's really making paintings of athletes like that and directly working with athletes rather than like a fan art. So I started like cold DMing around 100, 200 athletes every night. I would get like one reply and be like, hey, I'll do this painting for free for you. Could you just like post it on your story, etc. Like not asking for much, just to kind of gain exposure. And from there, from connections, word of mouth, kind of been growing, and I've been doing it for around 3 years now.
And then when did you really start seeing it take off and like see that more people were
wanting so
to do
actually
this?
It kind of took off kind of fast. I feel like once I got the first few guys, it was like I would do one guy and I'd be like, could you tell your teammates about me? So he tells teammates, and I'd do another guy. And so like for UNC, for example, I did all the big guys at UNC basketball at the time, like Armando Baycar, RJ Davis, Caleb Love, all those guys early on when I was first starting. And at that time I was still doing all this stuff for free, kind of just trying to get my name out there. So it kind of took off right away. After I started getting the first 3-4 guys, I was able to like use my connections and try to get new clients.
So it's sort of like a self-propelling thing.
For sure. So like I definitely am like, hey, I don't want to like, I don't do this stuff for the money. Especially right now, I'm young, I'm still in college. I'm not trying to do this for the money. I do it more for like, just trying to get my work out there for exposure reasons. So it's just a lot of like, hey, I'll do this for you, maybe at this rate, at this price, and could you just like maybe connect me with this guy after we're done, or one of your teammates, or like different things like that.
So do you start off with a sketch, or do you jump right into it with the painting? I feel like painting would be such an intimidating thing when you make a mistake. Is it a little bit harder?
So for me, it's like I've done so much of this, and it's kind of all natural that I don't really like. I don't see it as intimidating. I feel like I just jump straight in, and like even for a sketch, a lot of artists kind of do a first sketch and things like that when they're first starting off. Me, I just kind of go straight to the canvas, draw it out, and then right away just start painting it.
Is there one athlete that you were like a big fan of that you were so excited to meet, or is there somebody that you're hoping to collaborate with in the future?
So for like an athlete that I've already worked with that I thought was really cool to just meet and work with was definitely, of course, Travis Hunter. Yeah. Just because he was when I did him, he was just such a big name, and I've been seeing his stuff for a while and just knowing who he was. But when I was able to get in contact with him, because he reached out to me because I did a running back at Colorado, so he saw that and reached out to me. And when I was able to do him, it was just a cool moment because of the hype Colorado had at the time and still have, and how much hype he has now. And even from that, built a good relationship with him, did that piece for him, and then 4 months later, he texted me like, wanting another piece of the college football cover. So I did that for him a second time, went down to Colorado again. So he's been someone amazing to work with, great connection, really nice guy, super easy to work with also. And in terms of athletes to work with, of course, like, ideally I want to work with like some of the greatest guys like Tom Brady, Neymar, Messi, these big names. So that's kind of what I'm going for. But I'm also trying to like get into new spaces also. So trying to get into more like artists, like rappers. I feel like doing a piece of them on stage with the smoke and all that stuff would be super dope. So trying to expand more where I'm sticking with athletes a lot, but I'm also can do other things like entertainers or singers or rappers, etc.
If there's somebody out there who like wants to maybe pursue art or get into it, what would you say is they are struggling in the early stages of that process?
So I feel like early stages, I've talked to a few guys actually at Wake who are interested in art and some people who are like wanting to pursue art and make it like a business and sell their work maybe that just can't figure out how the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And everyone's approach is different. Like my approach, of course, was the best way to do it is by doing these paintings and doing these collab posts to get my name out there. But of course, not everyone's doing that where you're working with a client that has the following to do a collab post or that's going to help you in that way. So I would just say the big thing is just keep making work and keep putting on social media and just promoting it because there are people who want to buy there's someone for your work. There's in the world, there's someone always there who's looking for your work specifically. Even if you don't think that, someone's going to find it like really nice. They want their house, their room, etc. So just keep promoting it on social media and honestly just keep creating more work. Like don't just do one piece, spend almost a whole year on that one piece and then just kind of go off and on. Like just stay consistent is what I would say.
Okay. How long did it take you? Because like, I mean, like the paintings in the back, they're so realistic, so detailed. How long did it take you to get to that point? Because I know you said this started in high school.
Yeah.
And your mom was like in art, but like when did you actually start? Were you little when you first started painting?
So when I was little, I was always been painting and art, and I was always like my mom tells me she's like there was always like a natural talent. Like when I would go to art class in like lower school and elementary school, they would be like the teachers would automatically be like, this kid is better than most people. Like just things I was making at that age was a lot better than like most of the kids. But in terms of these paintings, like even if you look at some of my old work or even the work I did for my friend on his commitment day, if you look at that compared to my most recent painting, the difference in like how realistic they are is crazy different. And I think that's a big thing, like I was just saying, just from practice. I've done around 60 athletes. Once you do that many guys over time and you just start learning the process of it, you learn how to do clothing wrinkles better, you know how to make skin tones better. All these little things they don't think about, they build on each other. And my ultimate goal is to create ultimate hyper-realism where you look at a painting and just it looks like a photo. You don't even know it's a painting. Yeah. And I'm far from that, but like it's just going to come with growth and practice and just kind of like staying consistent at the end of the day.
And are we putting white paint in here?
Yeah, we're going to put white paint. So I was just finishing this bottom part and then we're going to put white paint right there to finish that part up.
I never knew if artists use white paint because I feel like when I was in elementary school, like the white crayon was like the one you never used.
Yeah.
I don't know if that applied to artists.
So like any art teacher I had probably would not like me for saying this, but like again, like that kind of is like I'm very different than like a very like strict artist in that way. Like most artists like never use white paint.
Why not?
They're like because white paint's very it's very one-dimensional. It doesn't have like shadows, and they're like if you want to make white, don't use straight white paint out of the bottle. Use like mixes of blues and grays and create your white paint. But for me, I'm just like I use straight up colors out of the bottle. I just like blend it myself. Like I just don't find like not that I don't find it interesting. I just don't have the patience for it, which is kind of bad as an artist to not have the patience for it. But it's worked for me. Not doing it, and I just like that's just my style, the way I've always done it. Like you don't have to be an artist, but if you try to blend colors together, like if you take some white on your brush and put it on that brown part, you're gonna see how easy it can blend. Honestly, it's just way easier. Like people always like oil paint's really hard to use. Once you get the hang of it, it's by far the easiest thing to use.
The easiest?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you sign your paintings when you give it to them? Like do you in the bottom corner?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that was a true thing because I feel like we should sign these now.
We should.
They're true masterpieces.
Yeah, let's sign them.
And okay, does it go in the bottom?
Bottom. I put mine in the bottom right.
Okay. Oh, black. Okay.
This is tough with the paint. But yeah, that's my signature I used to do.
Okay.
So there we go. Very rough.
The final.
But this is what we got done so far.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for walking me through this and telling me about all of your journey. This is very exciting. And I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.